Hello everyone, welcome to the science demonstration and quiz series with Dr. Aamarpali Roy, presented by Saujanaya International Educational Foundation. In today's demonstration, we explore an interesting question that affects every one of us. Can humans stay perfectly still? Let's find out through observation science and a quiz challenge. I was trying my best to keep the rifle perfectly steady. I focused carefully, I adjusted my posture, I tried not to move at all. But no matter how hard I tried, my hands never became completely still. Tiny movements were always present. That made me wonder, can humans actually stay perfectly still? Let's investigate. At first, I thought I simply needed more concentration. If I focused harder, surely I could eliminate every tiny movement. But something interesting happened. The more carefully I observed, the more I realized that the movement never completely disappeared. Even when I felt perfectly steady, tiny motions were still there. When I looked closely at my hands, I noticed very small movements. These movements were subtle. They were difficult to see, but they never completely vanished. This raised an important scientific question. Are these movements a mistake, or are they a normal part of how the human body works? Why do our hands shake slightly even when we try to keep them still? Weak muscles, normal nervous system activity, poor eyesight. Take a moment to think which answer do you think is correct. I'll reveal the answer later in the video. Now, try a simple experiment yourself. Stretch one hand straight in front of you. Try to keep it perfectly still for 10 seconds. Watch carefully. Most people notice tiny movements almost immediately. Even healthy individuals cannot completely eliminate these small motions. Why does this happen? Which body process contributes to tiny involuntary movements? Breathing, heartbeat, both. Think carefully before choosing. We will return to this question shortly. If staying perfectly still were easy, precision shooting would require very little training. But experienced shooters know that controlling tiny body movements is a skill. In fact, much of the precision shooting involves learning how to manage natural movement rather than trying to eliminate it completely. So, what causes these movements in the first place? The answer begins with the nervous system. Your brain is constantly communicating with your muscles. Every second, countless nerve signals travel throughout the body. These signals help maintain posture, balance, coordination, and control. Without them, even simple movements would become difficult. Because these signals are continuous, every healthy person experiences tiny, involuntary movements. Scientists call these movements physiological tremors. The word tremor may sound alarming, but physiological tremors are completely normal. In fact, they are a natural feature of healthy muscle activity. Even when appear motionless, many muscles are constantly making tiny adjustments. Your body is constantly working to maintain its stability. These adjustments are automatic. You do not consciously control most of them. As a result, absolute stillness is practically impossible. There is another reason. Breathing creates subtle movement throughout the body. Even your heartbeat generates tiny vibrations. Normally, we do not notice these effects, but during precision activities such as shooting, microscopy, surgery, drawing, or threading a needle, these tiny movements become much easier to observe. This is why precision activities require practice. Shooters, surgeons, artists, and musicians learn techniques to reduce natural movement. They cannot completely eliminate these movements, but they can learn to control them effectively. That control improves accuracy and performance. So the next time your hands do not stay perfectly still, do not worry. That is not a mistake. It is not necessarily a sign of weakness. It is simply your nervous system and muscles doing exactly what they are designed to do. The human body is always active, even when it appears completely still. Breathing and heartbeat both contribute to tiny involuntary movements. Did you get both the answers correct? Tell us in the comments. Thank you for watching. Join us again for the next science demonstration and quiz series, Science with Dr. Aamarpali Roy, presented by Saujanaya Educational International Foundation.